Greetings and salutations. This is Big J here. The links are in the description box. Let me say this one more time. The links are in the description box for references. Now, here we are. Since last Friday night, AT2 put out a video, and shout out to AT2. He put out a video of Tasha K. And Tasha K got on Twitter and she was announcing something that was going to break this past Monday, which was the third day of August of 2026. And she was going to put out the information of the scandal that Roland Martin got himself into, or may have got himself into. And as I'm sitting here looking at all this, now I voice my opinion and I put my head low. Um, in not disbelief, but how shameful, no, shameless black social media is. Now, Roland Martin is some people will say, a shield for the Democratic Party. That may be true. But the question I got to ask, see, we got to connect the dots. We get to connect the dots on this. Why would Tasha K do it now? Why would people like Mr. Fantastic and George Macon and I forgot the other person up on the Jay Prince for president with his sorry no good self can get on the panel with Tasha K talking more about transgenders and the transsexual community and promoting transphobia while the issue was about Roland Martin. Why now? Again, let's talk about it. Roland Martin is anti-manosphere, anti-MAGA. This whole thing about Black YouTube, with these four individuals on Tasha K showed you, actually proves that there is a connection between the red pill community and Trumpism. Do you understand? There is a distinct problem that many of y'all in this side of YouTube can't even grasp because y'all too busy trying to clown. Y'all too busy trying to quote unquote, what's the word? Plays in dozens. The real reason why Roland Martin case has been brought up because Black MAGA needs a win. And since Brandon Tatum has caught himself into a web with the Nolan Wells case, since since Brandon Tatum got up on Nancy Grace and made a complete ass out of himself and slandered the victim and slandered the victim as of being a drug user and tried to make veiled threats against the mother of the victim. And there's a possibility of Brandon Tatum being sued. See, Black YouTube, and especially Black MAGA, along with its Red Pill allies, and the FBA movement, the hashtag FBA movement, it doesn't surprise me if they're using Roland Martin as a way to cover up their issues. Y'all need to start thinking. And y'all need to start thinking quick. And I want you to also notice this too. Notice that Mr. Fantastic right there had the Reverend Manning on his channel. And we all know that Reverend Manning had a sexual hey, whoa. Let me dial that back for a minute. Because I'm gonna be careful. Allegedly trying to groom one of his young female churchgoers. The link of that is in the description box too. And I will do a video on that as well. You gotta check that out too. But I want y'all to think. See, there is a pipeline between red pill and Trumpism. And when it happened to Roland Martin, seeing all them clowns surrounding Tasha K, trashing Roland Martin, do not think this is something that happened in a vacuum, because it's not. I've seen this play been done before. That's the point. This is a play. Do not let Tasha K or Mr. Fantastic or George Macon or O'Shea Duke Jackson or Jay Prince for president or anybody else who trying to jump on this bandwagon and drag Roland Martin. Don't let them sit there and try to make that into a narrative when you got a guy who's a self-hating Negro, a Trump lover, a Benjamin Netanyahu lover who goes to Mississippi to disrupt a murder investigation. Don't let that cloud y'all's judgment. Do not let that ruin that narrative. I got to add on something because I was going to end my video right then and there. Let me go and add something on. I had this conversation that was on my channel, and I have to agree what needs to be done about these grifters, these charlatans, these red pill clowns, and fascism, and these fascists online. Let me tell you what needs to happen. And shout out to MOT because he says it best. He said better than I can. What happened to Roland Martin is the reason why Section 230 of the Communication Act needs to be repealed. What also needs to happen is that the Fairness Doctrine of 1987, which Ronald Reagan signed with his consecutive order, I did some research on that, needs to be repealed. The Fairness Doctrine needs to be put right back on law as required, because it'll stop all this foolishness of, oh, we're going to lie and push out false propaganda, put out false information out. There's also the Millennium Act. I'm gonna add on this that needs to be repealed. The Additional Act of 1998, that was passed in Great Britain, which a lot of social media companies use as a shield. If there's no, when the U.S. Side, you know, forbids it. All these legislation needs to be redone and repackaged so we can stop the grifting, the era of the grift. This one needs to stop. False information has led this country since the last 15 years, has led this country down to a hole of depravity and immorality. And social media is part of the problem. Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what may have you, is allows misinformation to run amok and allow people like Boyce Watkins, Umar Johnson, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, Rollo Tomasi, Jake, that white racist dude named Jake Lane, to get on social media and put out false information, harassing people, and God knows what else they're doing, along with doxing. That's what needs to happen. Now, let me get back off later on, because I got another video coming right after this. Big J out.